This is ANA's special business class, The Room. Come with me to fly nearly 14 hours from Chicago to Tokyo, which typically costs around $8,000 for this one-way flight. Here you'll experience all the food, drinks, and more that come with this unique product. But the journey begins here at the United Polaris Lounge inside the Chicago O'Hare Airport. We are given access to this lounge because we are flying business class on ANA, which is a partner of United. And this has been one of the nicest lounges that I've ever been to, and you'll see why. There's lots of comfy seating available, a drink bar with water, soft drinks, coffee, and tea, a pretty decently sized buffet, and since it was 8 o'clock in the morning, they had bagels, croissants, bread, fruits, ingredients to make a sandwich if you want, eggs, potatoes, and more. They even have a dining room / restaurant in the lounge where you can order food and drink from a separate menu from the buffet. Or if you need a shot of confidence, there is a fully stocked bar that you can order drinks from. But I think one of the best things about this lounge are the shower suites, which I'm about to show you. And remember that everything here inside of this lounge is provided to you at no extra cost. Now, where do we even start with the suite itself? The room, it's pretty spacious. There are stars in the ceiling leading up to the shower rooms, like if you're in a Rolls Royce. You have a set of Saks Fifth Avenue towels, along with a loofah and some United slippers. But I'm not sure if you're even gonna use the slippers because the floors inside of the bathroom are heated. There's even a closet inside the bathroom for you to leave your clothes if you want them washed and dried while you're at the lounge. And all of the lotion and soap are made by Therabody, which I didn't even know made those things. But about the shower itself, with the push of a button, you have water coming down from a rain head from the ceiling. And the shower space is massive. It's got a bench inside. You could comfortably fit 5 people in there, maybe 10 people uncomfortably. It's safe to say that this shower is better than the shower that I have at home and a lot of the other hotels that I've been to. After that amazing experience, we have time to go eat breakfast because there's one more special thing that I want to show you inside this lounge before we have to head over to our flight. I chose a seat next to the window to look at the view, and by view I guess it's just airplanes moving around because I don't know what else you're gonna look at an airport. For breakfast, all the fruit and salad that's available at the buffet got me real hungry, so I went with potatoes, eggs, and breakfast sausages. Breakfast was simple and delicious, but after eating, and especially after coming off of a red-eye flight right before this, what's the next thing that you might want to do? That's right, take a nap. And this lounge has dedicated napping beds for you. You're provided with a Saks Fifth Avenue pillow and blanket, and they even pre-warm the blanket for you so it's nice and toasty for your nap. You'll also receive an eye mask, bottled water, mints, and earplugs. Being able to experience all of these amenities within the United Lounge has been amazing, so if you're planning on flying ANA's The Room, I would recommend heading to the airport early so you could take advantage of things like this. But this isn't a United Polaris Lounge video, so let's go ahead and start heading over to our ANA flight. While I walk over there, I do want to mention that at the end of this video, I share with you how you could book the same flight for less than $8,000. We made it to the gate in time, and I can't wait to show you guys one of, if not the best business class product that you could get right now. Walking up to our seat right now, and you can just see how massive and elegant our suite looks like. It definitely beats out most business class seats, and it could even go head to head and compete against some first class products out there. There are a total of 64 business class seats on this plane, and each row has a 1-to-1 configuration, so everyone has access to an aisle. But this plane has an interesting seat layout because all of the odd number seats face backwards while the even number seats face forward. For solo travelers, I would recommend taking the seat near the window, while those traveling with a companion can opt for the seats in the middle of the airplane. We have a few amenities to go over that come with this seat, but let's go ahead and put those away for now because I want to show you how massive this seat looks like without these things on top of it. And looking down at the seat, you can see that it's pretty much 2 economy seats squished together at least. So it's safe to say that you have lots of room to work with and spread out and get comfortable for this long flight ahead of us. As for amenities, we of course have the slippers, a pair of wired noise cancelling headphones, a toiletry kit, a down comforter, and a mattress pad for when we convert our seat to a bed later in this flight. And you can see here, this is one of the first examples of the attentiveness of the flight attendants on this flight and how friendly and amazing they are. Flight attendants then came around with a pre-flight beverage, and yeah, that's one way to get your blood flowing in the morning. One of the more odd features about this seat is the crossbody seat belt that's pretty much similar to the one that you have in your car at home. But let's buckle up and dial in as we're getting ready for takeoff. This is my first time flying on an airplane backwards, so I must say I was kind of like a child having a little moment here because it felt like a roller coaster. It was a weird sensation to fly backwards, if that makes sense. It's probably not that big of a deal, but if you do have the chance to fly in the room, I would recommend, once again, staying in one of those odd numbered rows because they are the ones that fly backwards. The seat itself has a massive 24-inch 4K monitor, and not one, but two windows next to your seat, and both have buttons to automatically open and close the dual layer window shades. Right next to your seats, you have one USB port along with the headphone jack to listen to the in-flight entertainment. Further up, you have the life vest pocket, and right next to your window in between the seat itself, there's a small gap, so I guess you could use it as extra storage space. In front of you is a small storage space to leave your shoes, and you have the actual footwell itself, which is massive. Well, I guess massive if you're a average 5'10" like myself. You should have a lot of space to really stretch out and have a field day up in there. Next to that is the pocket for the safety manual of the plane, and moving up you have the first of many lights that are a part of this suite, and below that is a small space to leave a hanger for any clothes or jackets that you might want to hang. Below the screen you have the dinner tray table, or I guess just the tray table, which pulls out towards you and then opens up so you can almost double the size of the table itself. As you might expect in business class, this is a decently sized tray table and can handle any of your normal airplane tray table needs. Right next to that, you have a small pocket where you can hold your phone when you don't drop it, or any other small electronics. But why would you use that when you have a massive desk-like space here where you could put 20 different phones and they will have no problem staying on and not falling off? Right above it is a cabin-like space that opens up two different ways. First, from the bottom to expose an HDMI port and a general outlet, which lets you charge any of your devices without having to leave the cabinet open. Or you could open up the cabinet this way to reveal a more spacious area so you could store, I don't know what you're bringing with you on these flights, but this serves as another place to put those things, along with two small mesh pockets and a flip out mirror that you could use during your flight. I actually found out later that instead of using the storage space in between the window and the seat, which I don't really think is storage space, you could put your provided amenity kit and wired headphones in here instead. Below is the PSP-like controller to control the entertainment system along with the seat controls. There are three different presets that come on your seat. The first is a lie flat mode that lies you all the way down or reclines you all the way down. The second one is a taxi mode or takeoff landing mode, which puts you all the way up or reclines all the way up. And the last preset is your food or eating preset, which puts you kind of in between the reclining all the way up and reclining all the way down. These buttons here move your seats forward or backward, basically either closer to your entertainment system or more towards the back of the seat. It does not recline the seat. The bottom buttons are to control the 50 different lights that shine into your pod. Using the scroll wheel up here is how you could recline your seats either up or down. The other side of the seat has another headphone jack and the second and third light for your little cubicle. Or if 3 lights aren't enough for you, you do have your 2 overhead lights for your cubicle as well. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but if you couldn't tell, this seat is spacious. You could easily lie down comfortably sideways, or you could have 2 people sit comfortably right next to each other. Although I will say that the second person is going to be kind of cramped as far as legroom goes, unless they squeeze on over and extend their legs on your side of the couch. Or sorry, I mean the seat. But realistically though, it kind of is more like a couch than a seat. The one thing that I do want to mention about this seat that is an issue is that you cannot store anything on the floor directly in front of the seat. Basically anything, and boom, this section right here will get crushed by the seat if you start to lie down or recline down the seat itself. But when you aren't crushing your personal items, you could recline your seat or lie your seat all the way down to essentially turn it into a semi-twin size bed. As a matter of fact, you could probably fit like 3 full-size adults here sitting crisscross applesauce, and it would only be kind of uncomfortable. Before showing you the one thing that makes this seat so special, I want to show you a couple more light features. The first is that you can control all of the lights by using the entertainment system. Second, not only do you have a light behind your seat, but you also have a light under your seat as well. Not only that, but you can control the color of these accent lights by choosing one of the 3 colors provided. Then finally, the feature that makes the ANA the room so special, the wall. Okay, well, I mean, I don't know why, the wall. Well, I don't know why it's not working, honestly. So it took me kind of a while to figure it out. I kept pressing it. I mean, I'm pressing it hard. It's like a normal button, and like, you know, any other button, you'd think I could do it, but I don't know. So let's move on to the second section of the wall, or the door. Boom, you hit the button. I mean, it's just as simple as that. I don't know why the first one isn't like that, but there you go, the second half. Then to close it, you just simply push it down. It's just as simple as that. So now let's give the first door a try again. And what do you know? So it looks like you have to have, oh, go, come on, get there. What? It doesn't close all the way. Sorry, but I am an ANA the room noob. This is my first time. So it appears that you have to have this first smaller side wall portion closed, or I guess open first, before you can close the main portion, the wall portion. And no matter what, there's always going to be that small little gap. But it's still so cool. If I didn't tell you that it was my first time going on ANA the room, you probably could tell from the way that I'm just behaving. It's like I found a toy and just having such a good time. It's so dumb, but it's so cool. It's my first time having like a private suite in an airplane. Maybe that's why the door was kind of broken and slightly ajar no matter what, because people before me just couldn't stop playing with it. I don't know. Playtime was over and it was time for our lunch break. The flight attendants walked around passing out oshibori, which is a Japanese traditional wet towel that they pass out and give to you before a meal. And now we could take a look at the food and alcohol options that are available for you to order on an ANA business class the room flight. For the drinks portion, we have white wine, red wine, whiskeys, cocktails, other spirits, beer, and you also have soft drink options as well, coffee, tea, water, etc. The first meal on this flight is either going to be Japanese cuisine or washoku, or your choice of international cuisine. And today I opted to go with the Japanese cuisine or washoku choice. However, they also provide a small selection of light dishes and snacks that you could order after your main meal. Whether you order the Japanese cuisine or international cuisine, you are greeted first with an appetizer, which is marinated 3 kinds of mushrooms and a duck and cheese canapé. Then of course I had to get a glass of white wine to truly round out this whole the room experience and make the most of it. As for the appetizer itself, I'm not really a big fan of mushrooms in the first place, so I mean that kind of tells you how it went, but the duck and cheese canapé was very good. So it was kind of a combination of naughty and nice, you know, good and bad, tasty and not so tasty, but hey, it's just the appetizer. Things took a turn for the better with the second course of our meal, called zensai, which was roast beef, grilled squid, boiled mushroom, you know how I feel about mushrooms, and simmered cherry tomato and wine sauce. There was also a cheese tofu, which was so good. I mean, the texture was just amazing. It was just so soft and melted in your mouth. I love it when tofu does that. But the best part about this second course was the seared tuna salad with ginger dressing. And as I was eating the second course, I couldn't help but think about the main entree, dessert, and breakfast that were all yet to come, along with the other experiences I was looking forward to for the next 10 hours on this flight. But all of that joy almost came crashing down when I set up the camera to get a cool angle and this happened. Thankfully, I am relieved to announce that there were no casualties as a result of that fall, and we can move on to the main entree. Today, the main course consists of steamed rice, simmered Greenland halibut in ginger sauce, miso soup, and Japanese pickles. By far, the fish was so delicious and the star of the show. The meat was moist and flavorful. But don't get me wrong, I see you, miso soup. You were just as good too. You're so warm and just really put you in a happy place. Like there's no other place that I would rather be than in the room 30,000 feet in the sky. All this food was finally catching up to me and I was feeling so tired and ready to take a nap. But I had one more course to get through and that was dessert, which was ocha, aka green tea, a blueberry cheesecake, and a piece of chocolate. Judge me if you want to, but one of my favorite cheesecakes of all time are the cheesecakes from the Cheesecake Factory, specifically the original one, and maybe just throw a strawberry on top of it and some whipped cream if you're feeling fancy. But anyway, I feel like most of you have had that at some point in your life, and to compare that to the cheesecake that I am eating right now, well, this cheesecake doesn't stand a chance. It's not nearly as good as the cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. Now, it's not horrible, but I mean, it just wasn't the best. Thankfully, the dessert was saved by this double layer chocolate, which if I remember correctly, I think was milk chocolate and a dark chocolate mix, but it was definitely leagues better than any Hershey chocolate that I've ever had. As for the green tea, it was just normal green tea as far as I'm concerned, but it was a great palate cleanser and washed away the memories of the blueberry cheesecake that I just recently had. And in classic ANA amazing customer service style, the flight attendants promptly turned down my food setting and allowed me to prepare for the rest of the room tour, starting with the bathrooms. Take a look inside the bathrooms that are available for the business class seat customers. At first glance, there's nothing too crazy or outstanding about these bathrooms. You do have a baby changing table, a small platform to stand on in case you want to change your clothes. This way you aren't stepping directly onto the bathroom floor. The seat is equipped with a fully functioning bidet. You then have some amenities like mouthwash and a face and body sheet, which is kind of like a wet wipe. The automatic sink was kind of cool. Then there's this foot pedal to open and close the trash can lid so your hands won't get dirty until you have to open the bathroom door. I feel like we've done so much on this flight, but we're still not even halfway to our destination. We have another 10 hours to go. Thankfully, you have an entire entertainment system at your disposal throughout this flight. That includes watching a bunch of different Hollywood blockbuster movies, some random collection of videos, or you could even listen to music. Then of course you have your sky map, the destination weather, and the onboard cameras. And whatever you could control on the main 4K monitor, you could also control on the handheld PSP controller as well. And that even includes reclining your seats, which I'm about to do as I get ready for my nap. It wasn't until I started making my bed that you really feel the full size of this thing. It really does feel like a twin bed that you're sleeping in. I also found this special feature called active noise control in the room, but I turn it on and I don't think it really works. It allegedly helps reduce the cabin noise, but I couldn't tell a major difference. But nonetheless, it was still so comfortable to lie down and really spread out and relax. And of course, the cherry on top of it all was to close the door and have my own private room. I must say that was the best 4 hours of sleep that I've had in my life on an airplane, at least. I did toss and turn it a little bit just because the mattress pad was still a little bit hard, but hey, at least you have room to toss and turn. And with a few more hours to go, it was time to look over the amenity kit and then have breakfast. Every business class seat, the room passenger will get this amenity kit with a few simple goodies inside of it. A leather travel pouch from Globetrotter, L'Occitane body lotion, L'Occitane lip balm, a set of ANA earplugs, a set of ANA toothbrush and toothpaste, and an ANA eye mask. And just like that, it is finally time for some breakfast. And just like the lunch/dinner option before, you have a choice between the Japanese cuisine washoku or international cuisine. I once again went with the Japanese cuisine option, which was grilled gold-stripped amberjack with saikyo miso, steamed rice, marinated spinach, more yummy and delicious mushroom, and a bowl of miso soup. Once again, ANA does not miss with their fish dishes. It was so moist, it was so tasty. What more can you ask from it? And to finish off breakfast, we have a not so Japanese cuisine dessert, which is Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream, which is by far, maybe not by far, but one of, if not my favorite tub ice cream that you could buy at grocery stores. With breakfast wrapped up, and as we start our descent down to Tokyo, I want to share with you how you too can experience ANA's business class The Room. If you wanted to pay for this flight entirely with cash, you're looking at around $8,000 to fly from Chicago to Tokyo on a similar flight to mine. But instead, I was able to experience this amazing 14-hour-long journey across the world for just 47,500 miles and around $200 in taxes and fees. And the best way to do something like that is by using your credit card points. So I'll be making a video on exactly how I did that and how you could follow the same steps to do it as well. When that video goes live, I'll have that link posted in the description below and also tagged at the end of this video. And about the room experience itself, I couldn't say enough good things about this product. Personally, I would say that this is at least twice as good as normal business class flying with ANA to Japan. 10 out of 10, I would highly recommend that you try this out as well. So if you've got credit card points just laying around, make sure you watch that video so that way the next time you go to Japan is going to be in ANA's business class The Room. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching and I hope you have a great rest of your day.